What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 2, Monday Night Football. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to give you my top DFS picks for this Monday Night Football showdown between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Oh, and good news guys, make sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video because we removed the box that was popping up and blocking the lineup. So now you can see a full lineup using these picks that we made in this video if you stay to the very end. Okay guys, let's take a look at this Monday Night Football showdown between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. So at the quarterback position, I like Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's coming off of an awful week 1, but I think this is a good bounce back spot for Aaron Rodgers playing the Detroit Lions, who have the 4th worst defense overall and they're middle of the pack defending opposing quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers only scored 3 fantasy points in week 1. What an embarrassment. We know he's going to want to put on a show here tonight. Now he's going to be about 65% owned, projected at 23.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's 11,400 DraftKings salary, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 49 points scored in this game, with the Packers favored by 11.5. So normally I'd be a little bit worried that because of the point spread here, because Vegas favors the Packers by 11.5, normally I'd be a little bit worried that the Packers would get out to a big lead and Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have to pass the ball. But I think because of his poor performance in week 1, even if they get a lead in this game, they're going to want Aaron Rodgers to go out there and throw touchdowns and build up his confidence. So I like Aaron Rodgers here versus the Detroit Lions. Now I just want to touch on Jared Goff, who had a fantastic week 1, scoring 33 fantasy points. He got 3 rush attempts. He's going to be about 45% owned. Now he's only projected at 16.2 fantasy points here tonight, but based on that week 1 performance, you could see him doing much better than that, maybe 20 plus fantasy points in this one. And he's 10,000 DraftKings salary. And then Jared Goff does have the game script on his side because Vegas thinks that the Detroit Lions are going to be trailing by 11.5. He could get a lot of work. And the Green Bay Packers have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Now, I don't really trust Jared Goff as a quarterback. He did have a good week 1, and he's only 10,000 DraftKings salary, so I'm going to fit him into some of my lineups, but I much prefer Aaron Rodgers. But because it's a single game slate, and he's in such a good spot, you got to consider Jared Goff here versus the Green Bay Packers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. So the running back position for me, it's split between the top 3 running backs on the slate. It was really hard for me to single any one of these guys out as a better play over the other one. So I'm just going to go through all of them here. Now, DeAndre Swift, he was a full participant in practice on Saturday, so he's going to be good to go. So I like DeAndre Swift from the Detroit Lions playing the Green Bay Packers, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. DeAndre Swift scored 24 fantasy points in week 1 off of 11 rush attempts, and 11 pass targets. He's going to be about 41% owned, projected at 16.3 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 8,400 DraftKings salary. Now, he was on the field for 68% of the snaps, so he got the majority of the snaps over the other running back, Jamal Williams, who we'll talk about in a second. So, DeAndre Swift, he's a little bit more expensive than Jamal Williams, and if he's healthy and ready to go, I think he's going to be the back to own, but it is kind of a coin flip, but I do like DeAndre Swift here versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, if you want to save a little bit of salary at the running back position, take a look at Jamal Williams from the Detroit Lions. And Jamal Williams scored 25 fantasy points in week 1. He got 9 rush attempts and 9 pass targets. Then he's going to be about 25% owned. Now, he was only on the field for 35% of the snaps, but when he was on the field, he touched the ball 56% of that time, and he's projected at 10.4 fantasy points here tonight. Now, he's 7,200 DraftKings salary, so I think I would prefer DeAndre Swift, but I wouldn't ignore Jamal Williams, so I also like Jamal Williams here versus the Green Bay Packers. Okay, now another guy that had an awful week 1, but you gotta consider him in this game because of the game script. I like Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers playing the Detroit Lions, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Now, Aaron Jones, he only scored 4 fantasy points in week 1 off of 5 rush attempts and 2 pass targets, but he's going to be about 51% owned, and he's projected at 18.5 fantasy points here tonight. So we're expecting a big bounce back game from Aaron Jones, who's 10,400 DraftKings salary, and he's got the game script on his side. The Green Bay Packers are favored by 11.5. So although I do think they're going to let Aaron Rodgers continue to throw touchdowns, Aaron Jones should be a big part of this game in a fantastic matchup. So I like Aaron Jones here versus the Detroit Lions. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, moving on to the wide receiver position. I like Davante Adams from the Green Bay Packers playing the Detroit Lions, who have the 4th worst defense overall, and they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Now, Davante Adams, he only scored 11 fantasy points in week 1 off of 7 pass targets. He was on the field for 70% of the snaps. Then he's going to be about 66% owned, projected at 23.1 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 11,800 DraftKings salary. Now, Davante Adams has a fantastic matchup here tonight. He'll be covered by Amani Oruwariye, I have no idea how to pronounce that last name, who gives up 0.53 fantasy points per route. So he was listed in our best wide receiver cornerback matchups of the week. So Davante Adams is in a smash spot here tonight with Aaron Rodgers, who wants to have that big bounce back game. I think it could be fireworks between these two guys tonight. So they're going to find their way into most of my lineups. So I like Davante Adams here versus the Detroit Lions. Okay, if you want to save some salary at the wide receiver position, take a look at Marquez Valdes-Scantling from the Green Bay Packers. And Valdes-Scantling, he scored 5 fantasy points in week 1, but he got 8 pass targets. Now, he was on the field for 63% of the snaps, and he's going to be about 18% owned, projected at 10.3 fantasy points here tonight. He's only $5,600 DraftKings salary, so I think this is a good salary saver pick with a guy that should get plenty of targets, plenty of opportunity. So I like Marquez Valdes-Scantling here versus the Detroit Lions. Okay, now a sleeper pick, a super salary saver here. This guy's going to find his way into a bunch of my lineups to give that much needed salary relief so I can fit in Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. So I like Quintez Cephus from the Detroit Lions playing the Green Bay Packers, who have the 5th worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing wide receivers. Now Quintez Cephus, he scored 12 fantasy points off of 7 pass targets in week 1. He's going to be about 14% owned, only projected at 6.5 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 10 fantasy points or more. And I like this pick because he's only $3,800 DraftKings salary, and the game script is on his side. The Detroit Lions looks like they're going to be Vegas thinks they're going to be trailing by 11.5. So it's going to be a pass-heavy game script for the Lions. So I like Quintez Cephus here versus the Green Bay Packers. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. The only tight end that I really love on this slate is TJ Hawkinson from the Detroit Lions playing the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. TJ Hawkinson scored 26 fantasy points in week 1 off of 10 pass targets. He's going to be about 37% owned. He was on the field for 85% of the snaps, projected at 13.5 fantasy points here tonight, and he's $9,600 DraftKings salary. So TJ Hawkinson is the stud to own for the Detroit Lions in what should be a pass-heavy game here versus the Packers. It's a fantastic matchup, so I like TJ Hawkinson here versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, the other tight end, if you don't have enough money to fit in TJ Hawkinson and you want to go with a low ownership play here and save a bunch of salary, take a look at Robert Tonyan from the Green Bay Packers. Now, he only scored 3 fantasy points, but he did get 4 pass targets, and he's going to be about 26% owned. He's $6,400 DraftKings salary, projected at 10.3 fantasy points here tonight. So I'm not a big fan of this play here tonight, but I do think these receivers for the Green Bay Packers are going to all have big games, or most of them. And I think Robert Tonyan's going to get enough pass targets and might find the end zone. So I like Robert Tonyan here versus the Detroit Lions. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.